Welcome back, SolidWorks community, to this video series where we are creating unique experiences using SolidWorks Visualize. So far, we have set up the scene for our renderings, and now we are going to create some of the outputs and see the results. We will create some panoramic images, some virtual reality experiences, and interactive images. Let's jump right into creating some awesome content. We are back into our project with the ship and have returned to the original background and scene. The first output that we will create is an interactive image that we can put onto a website or use on a mobile device. We will first create a separate camera for this view. Setting up the camera is the most important part in getting this to look correct, as it moves around the stationary model for this output. The general rule of thumb is to keep the model within the extensive rotation of the camera so that when you rotate it on the site, it doesn't get clipped by the screen. We can center the model by clicking the Select Model icon and then holding Ctrl, Shift, and left clicking on the model. Now it's time to set up the rendering. For the rendering output, we will select Interactive Image. We must fill out the new options for this render type, with the orbit being how many times the camera goes around the model, images per orbit deciding how smooth the model's rotation is, and the angles for start and end telling how high the camera moves about the model. The resulting output is a nice interactive image that the customer or other person consuming the content can move around at their leisure. The next output type that we will look at is a virtual reality experience. I'm calling it this, though it is really a panoramic image that you can view through a virtual reality headset. Similar to the interactive image, the camera is the most important aspect of this output. We will add another camera to the project, this time positioning it within the ship. The objective with this camera is to have it located in a place of interest within the scene. The output will be where the user can look around as if they are actually at the camera's position. What better place than to position the camera at the ship's wheel? We will simply rotate around and zoom into the model until it looks as if we are standing right there on the ship. We will now change the type of camera from the standard perspective camera to the one that suits our needs, which is the 360 camera type. We can now see how the image is going to render. Let's go ahead and set up the output options. We now need to change the output mode back to render, but notice the new option below. We must check the box, which embeds the necessary metadata to view the 360 image on VR devices. If this box is not checked, it will still create the image, but would not be viewable on virtual reality devices. Here we can see a few examples of files that were created with VR in mind, both interior and exterior images. Please stick with us for the final video in this series, where we will discover all the ways that we can work with animations within SolidWorks Visualize.